Welcome back to Yashahime Half-Demon Princess Anime Review, episode number 12. This one I'm discussing the 12th episode of the anime, actually 13th episode, Delicious Feudal Monks. Yep. Now, this episode is amazing due to the fact we had the return of Moroku and Sango to the series. Yes! Yes, I was so happy when I saw this in the preview that they were coming back. In the case of these two, last time they were seen was back in the pilot episode, though that was a flashback. This is present day. Now, you at least get to appreciate this. Sango still got her voice actress. Now, I did not mention last week that they did replace the original voice actor from Roku because the actor passed away. Now, who replaced him? This is interesting. The guy who replaced him is Ian James Carlett. You're probably thinking, who the heck is this guy? Well, believe it or not, this guy did the original dub for Dragon Ball Z. The Saban English dub. Yes. And this is the first show he's worked on a dub since 2002. Yep. And from what I read from the article, this guy was an old friend of his, and who better? Yep. Now, it's great to get a chance to hear a guy who had previously voiced Goku, which makes him like one of like 2 or 3 voice actors for Goku. I've actually heard something else. Because, well, the most famous one is Sean Schimmel. But this guy voiced Goku in the original Saban dub from the 90s. So yeah, that guy is voicing Goku. Well, not Goku, Moroku. Sango was seen a couple times in this episode. First, she's praying at a memorial. It's not revealed in this episode, but in a later episode what the memorial tree is for. Yeah, it's actually for a couple of characters. I'm going to explain in a couple episodes exactly what was the purpose of that. Now, you don't see Sango's face until the end of the episode. Which, of course, that's when she reunites with her son, Hinsui. Yep. Also, where in the world is her other daughter? Because last time I heard, she had twin daughters with Moroku. She had 3 kids with him. As far as I know, they didn't have any more kids, despite the fact they have many kids as possible. They only had 3. They had the sister who appears in this episode. There's Hinsui, and there's another sister who did not appear in this episode for some reason. Yeah, it's not really saying exactly what the heck she's doing. Also, Sango is living in the old Demon Slayer village. Yes, as far as I can tell, they don't explain this until 2 episodes from now around the line. Yeah, I will discuss that when they get to episode 15, because that's going to be quite interesting to discuss this one. Yep, episode starts off with Toa and Setsuna along with Hinsui, who are told by Konohamaru, not Kohaku. He tells his nephew that there's a demon killing, basically, monks, and the first monk killed in the episode is apparently a guy who wrote Journey to the West, which, that's interesting, which was the basis for Dragon Ball Z. I'm not kidding, this was the primary basis for Dragon Ball for the original Dragon Ball series. Yep. So, and then of course, well, this guy's at the monks, so Kohaku's like, I want you to go protect brother. And he's like, really? You want to protect him? We're thinking, why is he his brother? It's his brother-in-law. So, they ride a Kilava to go visit him at a temple. And he apparently has been training there. He's supposed to be on like a 1,000-day like training session. And he's been there for 800 days. 2 years. Yep. And at first, basically, now we see him, he's not wearing the blue outfit he was wearing in the original series. As a matter of fact, they have a flashback to the 6th episode of Final Act, which kudos for Sunrise to make a reference to that, because, yeah, one thing I did notice about him, aside from the fact he's not wearing the blue robes anymore, is, well, he doesn't have the little braid he had in his hair. Yeah, he was known for having a braid in his hair previously, and it looks like those hairs going a little bit longer since the last time we've seen in the series. So we see him training on the waterfall, sitting on top of a building, a rock, and then his daughter shows up like, hey, I came for some lunch. Yep. And then just not long after his daughter shows up, it's like, oh, my son is here, and he's brought two girls. It's kind of a good thing that the writer series know, yeah, he's no longer the pervert he was. He's no longer the lecturous monk that he was in the original series. Well, it's a good thing he gave that up because he's already married to a beautiful woman anyways. So, why would he need to basically be lecturous to want to win when he's already married to a beautiful woman anyways, who gave him 3 children? And plus, these women are way too young for him. Like, Setsuna and Towa are basically, they're both 14 years old. Well, get this. He's actually 39. And Sango is, 38. We'll talk about her in a minute. I'll talk about later. So, the able with them, of course, Setsuna, oh, hi, Setsuna. And she's like, recognize you. And of course, then reveal the fact you have powers. Like, oh, Monk Moroku. He's like, yep, that's me. And it's like, oh, this is your sister. Interesting. Cool. Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird, the fact they kind of repeated what they just said. And then we have, him go off to do more training. Hensui following him. And loving the fact that his sister gets along great with Setsuna and Towa. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Hensui developed... Basically, it's later revealed that he's in love with Setsuna because, she's a beautiful woman and I wouldn't be surprised about that. Yep. They chat for a while. We have her eating Cheetos. Yes, spicy Cheetos, which I thought that was so hilarious. And they're checking later. And then the demon shows up, who apparently is one of the 4 perils. And not surprising, he would know about this because he's a monk. He probably knows a lot about demons anyways. And then when he briefly runs away, what is he getting? He brings along his staff, which, great the fact that Sunrise remembered, oh yeah, he carries on a staff with him. Yeah, the same staff. And he also mentioned he used to have this thing called the Wind Tunnel. Which he also forgets to mention that was actually a family curse. Struck at his family by Naraku. First his grandfather, then his father, and then him. So I wonder if Hensui knows what happened to his grandfather and his great-grandfather. The fact that, basically, his father's ability ended up killing 2 members of his family. Oh yeah, apparently this demon that one of the perils, Moroku says he has the same powers. His ability is very similar to the Wind Tunnel. So he sucks in the chips, spicy. And then, of course, I thought this was so hilarious. Basically, Towa just digs in her bag and takes out a flask of Tabasco sauce. Throws it in his mouth, it's so spicy. That was so hilarious. Yeah, I thought that was so funny. With him I'm like, dude, if the thing is spicy, you can just have a drink. Nope, just continue sucking stuff in with your blow vacuum clear. And then, of course, so they try to poison him. It kind of works, but he spits it out. And then, of course, Setsuna basically tells Mark, I want you to undo the seal. Like, what? I'm like, what seal? Yeah, basically, that was so her power was sealed. And he undoes the seal. And then she sticks her hand in his mouth. And he bites into her arm like, ooh, I wonder what half demon tastes like. And he's like, oh crap, this is poison. I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Of course, Moroku tries to stop, but fails. And then we see that apparently it looks like her demon form is very similar to her uncle Inuyasha's demon form, except he's got red eyes and he has the same marks on her face, just like Inuyasha does. Excuse me. Yeah. So after the demon leaves, Moroku restores his seal, and apparently this is a build that she inherited from. This is presumably from Yashahime, because he did have ability also to have the poison hand. He did have this at one point. I think it was the hand that was chopped off by Inuyasha back in the original Inuyasha series. Back in the anime, it was episodes 8 and 9. Mm-hmm. Yep. Then of course, they leave. Of course, Itsue basically. Also, apparently the Tetsu apparently damaged the temple so much. It's like, oh crap! I gotta clean this place up. Look if his daughter's there, just happily cleaning this up, no problem at all. Yep, but he's gotta spend time basically restoring this stuff. Oh yeah, another reason why his way hates his father because he sees him as a coward, and someone who takes a lot of money out. And then we finally see Sango in the episode. Now, yes, she was saying about something, but she looks fantastic for a woman her age. I mean, she's 38 and she looks great. She looks like she hasn't aged a bit in 20 years. Despite the fact, in terms of the anime, it had been like 11 years since the anime ended. But yeah, great to see her here. And I'm happy they finally show her in the anime. At least they show that Moroku and Song are alive. As will happen to Kagome and Iwasha, that's not revealed in episode 15. Though next week's episode resolves a plot thread that's been going on since episode 2. When Setsuna and Toa were separated, like, who burned down the forest? That was a question that was asked back episode 4, I believe it was. And episode looked like, for people episode 14, we finally get a chance to answer the question. 10 episodes afterward, which is not bad. I would say the 14 episodes so far, this is one I've enjoyed the most because it's Moroku. How can you not enjoy an episode of a series featuring Moroku? By far, one of the best characters of the original Inuyasha series who's not Inuyasha or Kagome. I mean, yeah, he may be even a pervert, but that guy was always an awesome and well-written character. Both in the anime and even the manga, too. Which, kudos for the anime for doing that. Okay, that's pretty much it for this particular review. I might have one review to do tonight, maybe a comic corner, but that's pretty much it. Yeah, shockingly got both anime I want to do today. Yep, so tomorrow, expect to see about one anime review. Excuse me. One, maybe maybe two videos tomorrow. One video definitely coming tomorrow because there was no new episode last week, but this week should be one. And that'll be for Case Closed. And the only video I might do tomorrow is Case Closed. Yep. But see you next video. Bye.